Hi, HL. This is Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com, and I'm listening to a speaking practice test you sent me earlier today. This is my free TOEFL speaking evaluation service. It's free. One. One speaking practice test evaluation is what I'm going to do for you. So do not send me any more speaking practice tests after this. If you like my feedback, just go over to bettertoeflscores.com, click on the speaking and writing feedback service, and you can start getting feedback on both your speaking and writing on a daily basis for a very inexpensive, low monthly price. Okay, I have the rubrics here. Okay, and here is your practice test. So let's listen to it. I think this is, do you think it's better to study in a group or study alone?
I definitely prefer to study on my own whenever getting ready for my exams. That's basically because I am allowed to move on my own pace, which maximizes my learning efficiency. For example, when last year I was preparing for my general biology exam, I simply decided to skim over all my notes on botany because I already mastered the structure of roots or flowers of plants. On the other hand, I
Good
did
detail.
devote almost 100% of my concentration to my zoology because I wasn't so confident about the body structure of, insects or the habits of marine animals.
Wow, you have a lot of detail in there. I'm surprised. That's a good strategy. Okay, so I'm looking at the rubrics right now. I'm thinking maybe some minor issues with your delivery, maybe with your intonation, but you're speaking fluently. You don't have a lot of pauses or hesitations. You prefer studying alone so you can pace yourself, and you gave an example to illustrate that. And you seem to have pretty good control over your language use, your grammar, and your vocabulary. I'm going to put you at 25 to 27 points on this practice test. Let me listen to it a little bit more carefully now.
I definitely prefer to study on my own whenever getting ready for my exams. That's basically because I am allowed to move on my own pace, which maximizes my learning efficiency. For
Which, what now? Had a little bit of trouble in there.
which maximizes my learning efficiency. For example, when last year I was preparing for my general biology exam,
Good. So you're setting it up, your general biology
I
exam.
simply decided to skim over all my notes on botany because
I would say I simply decided to study on my own. And during that study session, I blah, blah, blah. So, as you mentioned that example, make sure you explain that you were studying alone and you did not study with a group.
mastered the structure of roots or flowers of plants. On the other hand, I did devote almost 100% of my concentration to my zoology because I wasn't so confident
And say, when you say that part there, say, not having anyone else to study with, I was able to devote 100% of my time to. So, as you go through the example, you need to connect it back to the point that you were studying alone, and that is the better form of study for you.
about the body structure of, insects or the habits of marine animals.
Okay, I'm going to revise my score slightly, so let's go back to the rubrics here for a minute. So I think I'm going to put you in the three. I'm going to say maybe, I said 25 to 27. I'm going to say 23 to 25 now. I'm going to lower it a little bit. So you're speaking quickly, but I think you can do a little bit better with your intonation there, as it says, though minor difficulties with pronunciation, intonation, or pacing are noticeable. And there are one or two areas in there I had to really pay attention to what you were saying. I think with the topic development, relationships between ideas, at times may not be immediately clear. So as you got into the example, you didn't refer it back to how you were studying alone as you prepared for that and why that was beneficial. So you could make that example. I like it. I like it. It's a very extended example. It's very effective, but you need to connect it back to the purpose of the speaking task. So I think because of this, maybe because of that, I'm going to put you at 23 to 25 points. I think that's probably where you are right now. All right, so with the intonation, you're going to need to vary your tone a little bit more than you did there. All right, so 23 to 25 points on this one. And remember, do not send me any more speaking practice tests. And thank you for completing this task.